All right, we begin with cricket on this edition of the SportsMax Zone. And we're reviewing Tuesday's doubleheader from Cricket West Indies Regional Super 50 Cup in Trinidad and Tobago, which produced wins for the Jamaica Scorpions and the Guyana Happy Eagles. Well, over at the Queen's Park Oval, West Indies Test batsman Kirk McKenzie scored his second consecutive 50 of the competition, an unbeaten 59 to lead the Scorpions to 155 for 4 in their rain-reduced innings of 30.1 overs. McKenzie had support from captain John Campbell, who contributed 41 against Daryl Cyrus, who copped 2 for 21 for the Volcanoes. Chasing an adjusted target of 206 from their 30.1 overs, the Volcanoes fell 12 runs short, despite 59 from skipper Sunil Ambris, as Marquino Mindley led the Scorpions bowling with 4 for 33 to hand them the win via the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method. Well, DLS was also involved over at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, where the Guyana Happy Eagles picked up their first win of the season, defeating the Leeward Islands Hurricanes by 8 wickets. Spinner Veerasamy Perumal claimed 3 for 24 to help dismiss the Hurricanes for 139 in 34.2 overs. Well, in the match reduced to 41 overs aside, Ashmead Ned and Niall Smith had 2 wickets apiece. The Happy Eagles then raced to the adjusted target of 140 in 27.5 overs on the back of half-centuries from the captain, Tevin Imlach, 69 not out, and Matthew Nandu, 50, finishing at 141 for 2. Now into round 4, here's how the table is shaping up. We have Barbados Pride at the top of the table. Of course, they have played 3 matches so far. Barbados leading the standings with 31 total points. The Hurricanes, who've played 1 game more, are in second with 27. That's followed by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, who are locked in with the Happy Eagles on 25. And the combined campuses and colleges are the only team without a win, and they sit on the bottom of the table with 10. Well, Vernon Springer, he's ready to join us via Zoom to recap the latest results. Good afternoon, Vernon. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Good to see Barbados Royals, putting up those wins at the top of the table. Can we start, Vernon, by assessing their performances so far?
Well, I think you have to look at the overall competition. I think the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, the Barbados Pride, and the Guyana Happy Eagles are the only team based on the formation that I would have seen come out from Cricket West Indies for the CG United Super 50 points allocation, or maybe playing to plan. But I'm almost very much concerned in terms of looking at the cricket on the television, in terms of the fielding and some of the tactics that I see being employed by some of the captains and some of the teams, and it kind of have me worrying. And if you get a chance, I want you to take some time out and just go through the Super 50 points allocation, even from the team batting, power play 2, even the team bowling, power play, wickets, and you work out in the back of your mind if you're really seeing and some of the teams really understanding what their role is, or it's just like the rules are being sent to them, and I don't think a lot of the teams and the captains or the backroom staff are really studying what is in front of them.
Yeah, well, I hear you on that point, Vernon, and I just want to correct myself. I said the Barbados Royals, and, it's because of my love for the CPL, the Barbados Pride. There have been centuries in this competition, and it's something that we, the viewers and lovers of cricket, really look forward to in regional competitions like this. You want players, Vernon, to put their hands up and say, all right, I'm putting my hand up for West Indies selection. We had back-to-back centuries from Justin Graves. And, different players.
Triple centuries.
Right, triple centuries from Justin Graves. And then a couple of players giving us those consistent 50s as well. How impressed have you been with the batting in this overall Super 50 competition?
Well, again, it comes down to mindset. Without the weather interacting for some of the games, most teams, you have 50 overs, and that's 300 balls. Justin Graves has demonstrated for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes that if you spend time at the crease, that you can be able to get big scores. So to date, he's been able to score 3 centuries, and when he failed, the Leeward Islands Hurricane didn't get to 150. So that's almost in itself is a major concern for him. Good to see Kevin Wickham scoring 100 and Macho Nando. In last season's tournament, we only had 7 centuries overall in the tournament. So to have at least, we can say 5 centuries so far, is pretty much impressive. We have always had players converting half centuries. The major concern for us now is turning those half centuries into centuries. You look at somebody like Amir Django, who had a glorious opportunity of getting 100 and then got out soft. So I think it comes down to the mindset and also the fitness levels. I'm also concerned about the fitness levels that I'm seeing being demonstrated by most of these franchises, and more so the feeling. I think too many of our bowlers are just trying too many things and not sticking to the game plan.
Yeah, and speaking about sticking to the game plan, I have to mention combined campuses and colleges, because when you look at the team on paper, Vernon, looks like a team that will do battle and that can, take away a match from any opponent. But based on the point standings and the results, combined campuses and colleges are yet to pick up a win. What do you think has contributed to that?
Preparation, and cricket is being played on the day, Mariah. And one of the things which I find that is happening is that we're concentrating on so many other things rather than the technical aspect of the cricket in terms of how we approach what is happening on the day of the cricket game. So we can't predict and say, oh, all right, Leeward Islands beat Jamaica last year by XYZ, so this year it's going to be an easy walkover. One of the things, and I feel that Cricket West Indies is going to have to come from an investment in the franchises. I don't know who's going to come from, whether it's Cricket West Indies or the franchises. Now, every international team that the West Indies have on board, they have a video analyst. How many of these franchises that are participating in the CG United Super 50, how many of them have video analysts? So while Darren Sammy wants a particular brand of cricket being played in the CG United Super 50, is that being replicated down into the franchises where each franchise has a video analyst, or we're just concentrating on one aspect, meaning that, oh yes, we want the guys to get fit, and yes, we want players to score centuries, but it has to be an all-round effort. Players have to play on better cricket wickets so that we can be able to get better performances, and we also need to be able to see some creativity in tactics. I find that some of the captains, based on the field placings that I'm seeing, is just way below par. It is really just not up to first-class standard.
Yeah, Vernon, you just listed the Guyana Harpy Eagles among the teams that you feel have been executing their game plan, well, trying to execute in the way that they would have strategized. But they've won just one of their 4 games so far. So I'm a little bit curious about your assessment of them.
Well, in sometimes, Lance, you don't always get all departments right for one of a particular reason. And I will drop that, Lance, by explaining to you. The Trinidad and Tobago game against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. I personally thought that Trinidad and Tobago should have got, based on the stat, at least over 350. They just didn't have anybody to be able to put the gas on. And then on the back of that, Leeward Islands Hurricane just come and just breeze that score. So sometimes you could see patches. And when I was talking about Guyana, I was talking about 274 for 5 in their 50, 271 for 7 in their 45, and 203 or 47.3 when they were chasing. So you could see glimpses of them trying to be able to match up to the points allocation, and that's what I'm seeing from that standpoint. So even though they maybe might not have won, Lance, I was just looking at other facets of the game that you could see some improvement.
Yeah, I fully understand that. And the point that you just made about the issue of video analysts and so on, which is now normal in top-level cricket, you're suggesting, Vernon, that this is a hindrance to development as far as the structure of our cricket is concerned, as this is really the feeder program to get players into the ODI setup.
Well, I will give you an analysis Lance. The Leeward Islands Hurricanes, about maybe a month ago,
Yes.
hosted a Leeward Island tournament in St. Kitts and Nevis. Out of that Leeward Island tournament, they picked a squad, came to Antigua and Barbuda. Now, I'm just saying to you that the CG United Super 50 points allocation would have, I sure, been a discussion among coaches and managers around the various franchises. But this system was not implemented during the Leeward Islands tournament or maybe even the Windward Islands tournament. This system is a proposal that is coming from the West Indies head coach and the development committee because they want to see West Indies playing a particular brand. So let's look at a Lance Whitaker Jr., who comes into a Jamaica Scorpions team and has all of this information in front of him, but he has not practiced it. The first time that he's seen this information is maybe in a camp, and then he's gone straight to a Super 50 tournament. But he gets selected into a West Indies team. He's confused because he was accustomed to playing a particular way. Now he has to change to adapt to what the coach Sammy wants at the West Indies level. So that's why I'm saying, remember, once you're playing in this CG United Super 50, your next step is to play for the West Indies team. So we have to be able to make sure that we look after the base by putting all of our resources at the base level.
So as a Leeward Islands official then, Vernon, how would you explain
I'm not an official, Lance, so take off the hat.
All right, well, you have been in the past.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
let's call you a Leeward Islands commentator.
Yes, no problem.
Is that better? Okay. So, Vernon, the question is, from where you sit, why would the Leeward Islands Cricket Board not implement the rules and the issues that would obtain in the Super 50 for your Leeward Islands? Because I suspect those Leeward Islands Super 50 tournament matches were trials for the CG United Super 50, and you know, it might seem like oversimplifying things, but the West Indies Cricket Board, Cricket West Indies Secretariat is there in Antigua, where the Leeward Islands play their cricket.
Well, that is what I was saying to you. So there's an onus now on the franchises to be able to come up to speed based on what is happening. So which means that it cannot be business as usual. And when I say it cannot be business as usual, yes, I find too many times, Lance, we blame Cricket West Indies. But I've always been saying, Lance, the franchises need a shake-up. We have people, Lance, still in some of those franchises that are failing fitness tests. And I know one of the things when Jimmy Adams was the director of cricket that he came up with this model that, oh, well, if Lance fail a fitness test, all we do, we just take out money. I'm saying players are getting paid, Lance, to play cricket in the Caribbean now. So why you can't pass a fitness test? Why you can't hire a trainer to get you fit? So you're comfortable for Cricket West Indies to just take out your money. You're a contracted player, and you're contented to know that you fail a fitness test, and all somebody's going to do is take out your money, and you still have a contract? I'm saying, Lance, that is unacceptable. I'm saying if you fail a fitness test, you give them 1, 2, 3, you shouldn't even get to 3. I don't think you should have a contract because it means that you're not interested. It's your work.
Yeah. All right. So, Verna, we're going to leave it there because we have a shortened program today. But I get the point that you're making because there is some responsibility from the territorial level, the franchise level, to get the players in the professional state of mind to prepare them properly for international cricket. And as far as you're seeing, that is not happening in the way that you think it should. And this is coming from Vernon Springer, who has been a part of the Leeward Islands Cricket Board.
And quickly, Lance, just before you go, that is one of the things which is also affecting women's cricket in the Caribbean.
Yes.
And you could see what is happening because we're only waiting until when a women's tournament to come around to be concentrating and saying we're going to get the ladies together to send them to a tournament. We have to do much better.
All right, Vernon, we're going to leave it there. We'll continue to watch the Super 50 and see how it unfolds. Barbados 3-0 at the moment, and the Pride on course for championship success, but lots of cricket still left to be played. Thanks, Vernon. Always great talking cricket with you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and before we wrap this segment, just an update on this third and deciding one-day international being played at Kensington Oval in Barbados. The West Indies winning the toss and electing to field. The England team finishing up 263 for 8 to 263 for 8. Phil Salt, 74. Dan Mosley, 57. Sam Curran, 40. And there was a blistering 17-ball, 38 not out from Jofra Archer. There's a live looking on the SportsMax app with England now trying to defend the 263 for 8. So West Indies set 264 to win. They are now 11 without loss with Brandon King on 9 and Evan Lewis on 2. Bowling for the West Indies in the England team's 263 for 8. Matthew Ford, the rookie, just 7 one-day internationals under his belt and a handful of T20 internationals. 3 for 35 with the best economy rate as well of 3.50. 2 wickets each for Alzari Joseph and Romario Shepherd, who had cramps and left the field late in the innings. Roston Chase picked up 1 for 42. So England then 263 for 8. The West Indies chasing 264 to win are 12 without loss in the second over. We go to break. We'll have more coming up on the SportsMax Zone after this.